And so he's getting me to play Battlefield 6.
Oh my goodness.
My son is incredible and I'm terrible. But I love the time with him.
Well, yeah.
So
I mean, you're doing it with a purpose.
he invites me knowing that I'm terrible. There's basic needs in every man. There's basic needs in every woman. And if you know what the need is, I can deposit in that account. So knowing what
the other expectation is really low. And because of that, God is able to give us more grace.
And we love him more because of it.
Because of it.
Kids were now out of the house, and now I'd had a little more resources. And I said, at 50, I'm going to buy a bike. And so when I turned 50, I bought myself a motorcycle.
Like a birthday gift.
I bought myself a motorcycle.
This is the Manspiration Show with Abel Olumide.
A father, is a husband of 36 years.
36 years.
36 going to 37. And he's a lover of God. He's a lover of global missions. He's been to, in total, how many countries have you been to right now?
Around 40 countries.
About 40 countries. And it's such a pleasure to have him. He doesn't like the titles, but when we want to tease him, we'll call him Dr. Jeff Jacob. He has a doctorate degree, but he just likes to go by his name, Jeff Jacob. He's the lead pastor of Word of Life International Church in Sterling, Virginia. And he's so much fun to be with. So, and I'm going to let him say something.
It's great to be with you, Pastor Abel. We are excited to be here, excited to help. I love the idea of manspiration. I think it's fantastic, inspiring men to be better men. And there's nothing better you can do with your life to help men. I believe as the man goes, so goes the family, so goes the community, so goes the government.
Wow.
It all starts with men being men.
Yes, I completely agree. And he's been somebody who has so much influence on many men, especially the young people. He has a program called the Next Gen Men, where he coaches just being a father, a spiritual father, somebody that other young men can look up to. And I don't think there's any better person to bring on this show today than Pastor Jeff Jacob. And let me ask you a little bit about I know you are so fun to be with. You ride the bike.
I love my Harley. My Harley.
Why Harley? Why Harley Davidson?
You know, I had a first bike I bought was a Suzuki.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it. But when I'd go to these large gatherings of bikers, I noticed I was one in the minority. I said, you know what? These guys have these loud bikes that look so nice. And,
is it the loudness or the size of the bike? What is so special about it?
It's the number of cc's, that cubic centimeters, the engine power. And then I love just the roar of the motorcycle. You feel the vibrations. And for me, I enjoy it because I call it wind therapy. Sometimes
I like that.
You can't imagine what it does for you doing 70 miles an hour down the road with wind blowing in your face. It's a stress reliever. It's beautiful.
I wish I could. I don't ride a bike, and a lot of my friends who ride, they've told me, you will love it. You should do it. I'm like, I don't know how it feels riding on those two legs.
I'm sure you did in Nigeria.
I was riding the regular bicycle.
Okay.
But not the motorcycle.
Really?
Yeah. But how did you start riding? Was it somebody that introduced you to it, or you just pick it up?
I actually picked it up when I was on my way going to college, and I needed a cheap way to get to college. So I started driving around Northern Virginia on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And after doing it for about a year, I had a near accident, and I went home, said, I'm selling my bike, and I sold it that day and said, I'll never ride again. And then something that men deal with is that 50, turning 50-ish, that midlife crisis. My kids were now out of the house, and now I'd had a little more resources. And I said, at 50, I'm going to buy a bike. And so when I turned 50, I bought myself a motorcycle.
Like a birthday gift.
I bought myself a motorcycle and said, you know what? I put it away. I put childish things away, and then I did my life with my kids, my family, focused on them. And when my kids were out of the house, hey, I can enjoy the bike again.
Oh, I love that. I really love that. I hope one day I will join your riding crew. So, and talking about your kids, these are grown men. I mean, you are a granddad right now. You're a
Yes.
grandpa, and you have two grown boys, men. No boys. You don't call them boys.
They are to me.
They are boys to
They're
you.
boys to me. They'll always be boys
They
to
are
me.
grown men, and I've heard you said it before that you still play video games with your boys.
I do play video games with my boys.
How do you manage that?
So as a father, I feel like it's really important to connect with my kids
Wow.
as much as possible. So my sons are 30 and 29. And if I have an opportunity to connect with them, I'm going to do it.
That's
And
amazing.
so my 29-year-old loves video games.
Wow.
And they both love video games, but he's really big into it.
Okay.
And I said, if there's a way I can connect with my son, have fun together, and he's in Florida, I'm in Virginia, we're far apart, but we're close to each other when we have the headsets on and we're talking on the microphone. We're
What do you
interacting.
play? What game do you play together?
Oh, you don't want to ask those questions.
I'm sure people listening want to know.
All right, for all the pastors out there, this isn't as bad as it sounds, but we love to play a game called Hell Divers.
Oh.
You go in and you eliminate bugs and terminids. And you go in and you're rescuing the world from these forces outside. And so we do that. And recently he's been on a Battlefield kick with the Battlefield 6 just came out. And so he's getting me to play Battlefield 6.
Oh my goodness.
My son is incredible and I'm terrible. But I love the time with him.
Well, yeah.
So
I mean, you're doing it with a purpose.
he invites me knowing that I'm terrible. And so I'm going to mess up his squad. I'm going to get terrible ratios and I'm not going to do as good as him. He knows that. But the fact that my son wants some time with me,
With you. That's
hey, I'll do it in a second.
that's amazing. And I think that's a great thing for fathers to pick from. Because somebody at his age, I mean, not so many things will appeal to him. He has the things he like, he has the things he doesn't have time for. So you can call him and talk politics or just talk the Bible all through. I'm sure at some point he might get bored. But with these, it might be on a game with you for like roughly how many hours do you play when you play?
A couple hours.
Say so, and that you might not get doing something else with him. So,
And I think one of the neat things, even bringing this into parenting, marriage as well, is that if I find what the other person likes to do, I go into their world. And so I think it's important as men, we go into the world of our wives, see what they like to do, what do they enjoy doing. It's not all about me. So I don't love video games, but I do it because I love my son.
wow.
My other son is 30 and he has not had the right equipment. So Cheryl and I just got him the equipment so that the three of us can play together. All three of us.
Let me ask your wife, Lady Shara, does she play video games?
No, she doesn't play video games. You'll never get my wife playing video games.
So
I have a special TV on the third floor of my house, which we hardly ever go to the third floor, but that's my video game spot, and I play with my boys there.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Spending time together with the people you love. And I'm sure at some point, someday, you'll start playing with your grandson too. I know you're looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to that. Even my sons, as we play on those games, their other friends join on.
Wow.
And so I just got a call last week from a young man that kind of grew up near my house, and they've always played video games together. So whenever I play, he's also on there. But he just decided he's getting married in the spring. He said, hey, Pastor Jeff, there's no one I'd rather do our pre-marriage counseling than you.
Wow.
Because I see how you invest in your family, you invest in my life, play games with me.
Look at that.
And so now would you be my marriage counselor? Because I'm getting married in March.
I mean, see what is coming out of a video game. Playing video game together. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. And as men, I think this is a great thing for us to learn. I like what you said, going into the world of the other person. Yeah. You know, your sons, your daughters, your partner, your wife. And I feel sometimes some things we may not be interested in.
Yeah.
And it's like sitting together and watching movies together. Sometimes we'll get busy I mean, my wife gets me to love watching movies.
Mm-hmm.
We pick something to watch together, and she's gonna say, "Don't sleep off." and I got better at it. We'll sit together, watch for like 1 hour, 2 hours, and I'm still awake, still enjoying it. But that wasn't my life.
You had to learn that.
I had to learn
You
that.
put yourself in her position.
Yes.
So my wife is similar. Recently, it's become harder for me because my wife, with a lot of the stuff that's in movies today, just the negative stuff that's out there, and the scenes that you see, she's really gotten into like Korean television.
Okay.
And it's more innocent. They're not all over each other.
They just follow the storyline.
Follow the storyline. It's cute. It's like little romance stories.
Yeah.
And it's cute. But I struggle reading the words on the screen because it's all in Korean and I have to read it in English. And I'm like, hon, it's going to put me to sleep. I really want to spend this time with you. But when I read that much, I just go to sleep. So we learn. Yeah. And I learned to enjoy Korean television. Because my wife's enjoying it right now.
I think that's what it is. And let's look at your story. I am interested. I know a little bit of your love story, how it started. You've talked about it many times. But for the sake of people watching, can you talk a little bit about how you met your wife?
Yeah.
That love story.
So there's two parts of the story. The first part is that God's got to be the center of the story. And when God's the center of the story, you're going to have a great life together.
Amen.
So before Cheryl and I ever met, many years, probably 5 years before we met, my mother and her aunt were prayer partners. And there was a point where I was dating someone my mom didn't care for. She was dating a guy that her auntie didn't care for. And my mom and her aunt were prayer partners. They prayed together. My mom says, hey, pray for Jeff. He's in this relationship I really don't care for. And she said, well, pray for my niece. She's in a relationship that we all want her out of. And we just pray that they get together one day.
They prayed you out.
They prayed. And 5 years later, about 5 years later, I came home from church. Cheryl and I met at church. I told my mom, I said, hey, there's someone that I'm interested in. And I gave the name. I said, Cheryl Dotson. And my mom looked at me and she said, is that Gwen's niece? And I said, yeah. And she said, oh. And my mom never said anything until after we were married, when Gwen and my mother said, we prayed that you two would get together 5 years before you did.
What a blessing.
And so we didn't know each other at the time. We went to the same high school, but we did not know each other. She graduated a year ahead of me. And then we met in church. And at that time, I saw her. I was in a really intense discipleship class at the time, and there was no dating allowed. And in that class, one of my friends asked me, if you could date right now, who would you date?
I like that.
And I said, Cheryl Dotson. And he was like, oh, you're crazy. Like, she's holy. Don't touch her. She's going to get in your car and make sure the radio is tuned to Christian radio. She's going to get in your life. And the whole youth group is scared of her because she's too holy.
Too holy.
And so the first time I saw her, I came to her church and was part of their youth ministry, and she was a youth leader there. And she would generally open the service in prayer. And when she would pray, it was like the presence of God would just fill the room. She would begin to weep and cry, and the glory of the Lord would fill the room. And I was like, I like that. I want to be with her. And so at the end of the graduation of our discipleship program, she was stranded at the church. And so I was now allowed to date. I said, hey, can I drive you home? You need a ride home. So I drove her home that day.
Look at that.
And the rest is history.
Driving with intention.
Driving with intention. I had ulterior motives. I must admit it. And I drove her home, and that started our relationship.
How old were both of you?
She was 21. I was 20.
Wow.
And we got married. She was 22. I was 21. We got married early. We were young.
That's awesome. And you've been married for 36 years.
36 years.
Wow. How great, how good. That's amazing. So what would you say, if you're going to mention one thing that you've been able to do from your own part as a man?
Yeah.
You know, this show is my inspiration. We'll look at how we can inspire men to do what is in their, like, just play the ball that is in your court.
Yeah.
What would you say from your own side as a man that you're doing deliberately that has helped over the years in your marriage?
I've always looked at Ephesians chapter 5 in the Bible. It talks about men loving their wives like Christ loved the church.
Amen.
And Christ gave up everything for the church. He died for the church. And so I've tried to live my life as a man, I've tried to live my life saying, I will give of myself for my spouse. I'm not living for myself. I'm living for her. I'm going to lay down my rights for her rights. I'm going to lay down my desires for her desires. And many men focus on themselves and what my needs are. And I just said, Christ didn't care about his needs. He pushed them aside, and he said, I've got to do what's right for those that I'm going to give my life for. And so as Christ gave his life for the church, I said, I want to do the same for my wife. According to Ephesians 5, I want to lay my life down. And so it is a twofold thing. Fortunately, I have a wife who is called into ministry, that knows and understands some of the weight of that and some of the responsibilities of that. So she has allowed me to be me. She's allowed me to be in ministry and to serve God as I feel called, without trying to control me, without trying to say, hey, I've given too much, because she knows as I go and minister to people that she's going. I recently was asked, because I just got back from Pakistan and I travel quite a bit. Some people ask me, what does Cheryl feel like when you're gone? You go so much, like you leave your wife at home alone a lot. And Cheryl and I have always had an idea that, hey, we are one. And if I'm in another country, you're in another country.
Wow.
And so while I'm there, I call every day and we pray together. We talk together every day. She's the first to hear what happened in the meetings. She's the first to pray for the meetings that are coming up. And so we see ourselves as one, even though we're separated at the time by distance. It helps to know that we are one.
Yeah. Well, so you deliberately keep the communication going, even when you're on the road. And I think that's you want to say?
I choose my cell phone plan based on who has the best international roaming. That is the most important thing to me, is that wherever I am in the world, I can connect with my wife.